Welcome back to Studio F, where on Fast Times Willy B, we will be reviewing Den of Thieves as we prepare for Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Hit it, Russ.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I've got Drew with me. Drew, how we doing?
We're doing good. Appreciate the invite again.
Yes,
my brother.
Thank you for reaching out. You know, this is one where you were like, Den of Thieves 2's coming out. I kind of had a feeling. You know, you said you liked the first one. I was like, you know what? January is kind of a weaker month, so let's do it. Let's do both Den of Thieves, you know?
I forget what movie I saw. I saw the trailer for the second one. I'm like, finally! Because I remember 2018, I want to say it was Black Panther. I went to see Black Panther, and I saw the trailer for Den of Thieves, the first one. I'm like, holy shit, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I didn't watch it till like 2020 because it like slipped my mind. Didn't go see it. Then I watched it. I'm like, dude, this movie's pretty good. So I'm glad you have a movie review channel. I'm like,
a movie review that you enjoy.
Yes.
Because we have some Marvel movies coming out, and we'll see how they do. But I'm sure I'll be reaching out to you for them. So look out for those messages. But one next month. But no, we're here for Den of Thieves 2018. Directed by Christian Gudegast, and that name does sound familiar. You kind of mentioned that, but these are the only two movies he's directed. This one and then the second one, which obviously hasn't come out yet. He did write London Has Fallen. He was on the writing team for that, so maybe that's where that name is popping into our head. But we've got Gerard Butler in our lead role. Big Nick. We've got 50 Cent. We've got O'Shea Jackson Jr. Ice Cube's son, as some of us like to say.
Cube squared.
And yeah, I mean, obviously a full slew of cast. When you've got a heist movie, you've got a big cast. But those are the three most recognizable figures in this film.
For sure.
But we'll start with the good. And where do you want to start? I mean,
right from the get-go, we get straight to the action.
Yeah.
Which I love. I'm not the biggest fan of like slow burning movies, but this one is the opposite. I mean, you get the crew right away. They shoot the people at the, what was it?
It's like a little, I don't even know what the building is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean.
The cops, they shoot the cops and they're like, we might have messed up here.
Yeah. No, it's definitely cool, too, because when I saw the runtime is when the first time I went to watch this movie, I was a little turned off by like the 2:25 for a heist movie. And when I started it this go around and it was like instantly action, I was like, if we stay like this, we're golden.
Right.
But no, great opening. It gets you hooked. I mean, you hear the gunshots off the rip and you're like, okay, you can't look away. But yeah, and you get a dead cop within the first 3 minutes. So like you said, it introduces you to the crew pretty quickly because they get back, and that's where you're introduced to Merriman, which is the mastermind throughout this whole movie of the bad guys. And then basically next scene is when you start learning about
Big Nick. Yeah. And his crew.
He has a crew too. So yeah, like you said, you hit the ground running quick, and I like that as well. I thought it was a good introduction. A lot of the action in this movie was really good.
The traffic shootout, that was so awesome. Just seeing like the parallels, like Merriman's crew, then the next shot is Nick's crew, just back and forth.
Yep. But you lose some people you didn't expect to lose in the first movie. Yeah. I mean, I guess when you made this movie, you didn't probably anticipate. I mean, the way it ended, I feel like you kind of anticipate there's going to be more than one. But the people we lose, like, I was like, damn, I thought he'd be in the second movie.
50 Cent.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking of. I'm like, damn.
And, like, you see his family, too. Like,
I think that's why I made it hurt a little bit more, because, like, they didn't really show anybody else's family from, like, the bad team.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he gets it in the neck, you're like, damn, his daughter's going to prom. And, like,
you get the hilarious, like, callback to the bad boy scene.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yeah.
You're 25.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, the action, that shootout was a really good scene. But even then, like, any shootouts we get in the movie was usually pretty, locked in on it. So, yeah, great action. Honestly, pretty good acting, too, for, You know, you never. Yeah. When you get an action movie, somebody I always like to point out in action movies, Jason Statham's always in the worst movies, but he's always so great. But in this movie, we get I would say all of the cast did well in their role.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't really one character that I didn't like at all. Yeah. I couldn't say oh, this guy's back on the screen.
Yeah, there was characters I probably didn't like the writing on as much as there was nobody I didn't like their acting. I thought everybody did their job in the acting department. Yeah, I mean, what else you got in the good?
The one scene when Nick gets Donnie and they're trying to talk to him, interrogate him.
Yeah.
And he says the coldest line. He's like, "You guys aren't the bad guys. We are."
Yeah, I like that.
We're going to shoot you. That's less paperwork. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I'd be scared of this guy too. Yeah. If he was a cop on my ass.
Looking how that movie ended, that scene is crazy to me.
Yes. He's like, I swear, I'm just a driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what a great plot twist, too.
Yeah, the plot twist, you got to throw that in the good. You got over here as I was catching the last 10 minutes. And I was like, so where's the money? Yeah. And you're like, oh, you'll see.
Yeah. I was smiling, just looking at Will as he's reacting to the final.
Motherfucker. Donnie was the ringleader the entire time, which obviously, spoiler alert on this video. But, yeah, man, that was a crazy twist. And, really, they threw you off with that, with how they portrayed Donnie throughout this movie.
Because you just thought Merriman was the leader by far. The whole movie till 15 minutes left in the movie. You're like, oh, it's Donnie.
Yeah.
And they give slight clues to Donnie is because remember, he's bartending and he's like, I'm a master of my surroundings because I know what everything's going on.
When you look back at it, you're like, damn, they kind of told you the whole way along. But, you know, they did a good job with Merriman's character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, that was a good twist for sure.
Yeah. Another thing I liked, just the tension between Nick and Merriman.
Yeah.
The dinner scene where he's like, 55, Long Poly Beach, I know you. We used to kick the shit out of you back then. We're still kicking the shit out of you.
We kicked the shit out of you when you went there. We kicked the shit out of you when I went there. We still kick the shit out of you. It's like Alliance and Marlington, you know?
For real.
Alliance always just kicking the shit out of them.
Well, not when I was in school. Not when I was in school. But yes, now for sure.
No. That's actually a pretty good rivalry. But that was a really funny scene. That was a really good scene, too. And Gerard Butler, I mean, he's another one of those guys that's just, it seems like he's in a lot of the same movies and he plays a lot of the same roles, but I always like him every time I see him.
I like him too.
Every time I see him, and he's funny in this one too. There's a little bit of underwritten comedy throughout this movie. The scene when he gets home and he texted his wife on accident. I'm like, you dumbass. It's, what did it say? It said oh baby, what you did last night was so dirty or something like that. And she was like, who are you? It was funny.
Oh, was that work related?
Yeah. What are you deleting your calls from last night?
Yeah.
But
he's like, babe, I don't even know how it worked this.
Yeah, idiot. But no, he was great in this film. Yeah, it was honestly it wasn't anything earth shattering. You know, you've seen heist movies before.
Right.
This kind of piggybacks off of a few of them. You get some of your tropes from a heist movie, but this one was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
There was a lot of action. Because even between the opening and the ending, obviously we get our two big shootouts. We get the bank scene where it's the ploy where they're fake robbing the bank and they think that they killed one of the hostages. Even then, it was just a fun ride.
Yeah. I just love when movies show incredible detail, them describing the job, just the mastermind that goes into robbing a bank. I'm like, how do you think of that to do that job?
See, now I want to go back and rewatch it, just the bar scene specifically, and see if you catch in the background the picture of him with the soccer team, or because obviously,
I think you do.
Obviously, you see the three guys at the bar,
right?
One being the Samoan, and you see those guys, and when you look back, you're like, "Damn it, I didn't catch that." But I wonder if you can see the photo at all in one of the shots there.
I feel like I've rewatched it. I'm like, oh, there it is, the picture of Donnie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Pretty good. What else you got?
The payoff, the last two on the chase was Nick and Merriman. I loved that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were just building up to those two facing off for the end of the movie.
I like too because Merriman's final quote is "told you," and I like that because it went back to the "I'm not getting cuffed."
Yeah,
and he was like, "I didn't bring my cuffs." Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he was like, when he got out of prison, the cop was like, "I'll see you back," and he's like, "No, you won't."
Yeah, yep.
There was a lot of like hints,
full circle moments for him. Yeah, but yeah, he met his demise.
He did. So did Fitty. R.I.P. my boy Fitty.
Yeah. But who didn't? Keep squared.
Keep squared. Yes, the mastermind.
He'll be in Pantera. But yeah, man. Anything else that really stuck out to you in the good?
Mm-hmm. I think when Nick's eyes opened up, like, oh, it was Donnie. Mm-hmm. That reaction.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That's probably it though.
I mean, like I said, it's just a fun ride. If you're looking for a dumb fun action movie, this is definitely worth the time. Mm-hmm. It is a little bit of a commitment, obviously, on the time, but it's still like you said, good attention to detail. It's fun to follow along with, and like after I watched it, I hopped on Letterboxd obviously to score it for myself, and I saw the average was like 3.3, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
I can get behind that. Like, I saw like 3.5 out of 5.
Good reviews.
But like, then I remembered, I was like, I thought this got like bombed from the critic standpoint, and I looked and like it didn't have great critic reviews. But like when you listen to the people who watch it, like the audience members, everybody says the same thing. It's a good time, and I agree. Yeah. It's a good time.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, it was fun. We can hop over to the meh then. My big meh is the personal life of Big Nick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when you're talking about the 2-hour, 20-minute runtime, those scenes where you get him and his wife interacting in the divorce and him stopping at the playground to see his daughter, I get it's supposed to show an emotional pull, so you kind of root more for Big Nick. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like if you cut that out, I still could have had a great time with this movie, and I might have even liked it even more because it would have been in that hour and 55-minute range,
right? Like,
and it just didn't have enough of an impact on the story for me, and it didn't have a payoff either. There was no payoff to it. Yeah. You don't get. I mean, maybe in two we'll see something more with it. Mm-hmm. Does he get a fight for his daughters? I don't know, but in this one, I was like, I could have done without it. That was my big meh. Like I said, I didn't think it was bad because it definitely gives you that emotional pull that you want to root for the main character.
Right.
But I mean, he also,
I don't think they really need it.
He also did it to himself. So like, text the right person.
If you're going to get caught.
But
that's a bad break, getting caught by your wife.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was like the I guess the biggest subplot for me that I was like, I don't think we needed it.
Right, and there was no details into any of the other crews, family life, except for 50 Cent. Yeah. With the prom scene, but like,
I mean, again, I guess you could argue that that's like the big reason he goes to the bar and drinks, and I mean that's the reason he goes to the strip club and ends up going to Merriman's wife's house. But like, I feel like there's other ways you could have also done that. You could have started the movie with like him signing divorce papers and didn't have to show us 20 to 30 minutes of fluff with it. You know what I mean?
Just showing he's a crash out from the get-go.
Yeah. So
I agree with that, for sure.
That was my big meh. Because I think that played into the pacing too. I think the pacing for the most part was good from an action standpoint and heist standpoint, but it was always just broken up when you threw in one of those scenes. Like the scene where he goes to his friend's house and they're having like the double date. That scene was way too long.
Yeah, I agree. It was getting awkward.
Hitting the guy, don't touch me. Like, I'm like, okay, just go to the next
Nick,
scene.
Come on, guy.
Just go to the next scene.
Yeah.
Like,
worry about Donnie, please.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was my big stuff. I don't know. What, like, you got anything in the meh?
If you can count this as a meh, like, this isn't like an everyday, I want to watch this movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you gotta be in the mood for a heist.
I don't think it has super high replay value. Like I said, it's definitely worth the one time, the first time watch. And I might revisit. Like I said, I'd like to at least revisit the bar scene to see those little details from a live standpoint when we were first introduced to him. But
this is definitely more of a movie like first time your jaw drops at the end.
Yeah.
So
yeah, whenever you have a big twist like that too, like it's hard to go back and watch and have the same impact.
Right.
Because, like, the big one for me is The Sixth Sense. I watched that for the first time this year, actually. And I was like, damn, that twist was crazy. Like, it had me dropping hard cuss words like the F word.
Yeah.
And I went back and watched it again because I loved it so much. And I was like, I still loved it. The second time I watched it, like, I still was like, man, that's such a great movie. But, like, you don't get the impact the twist had.
Another one, Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's another.
Yeah, it's another one that I still think is. I still think it's a 10 out of 10 movie. But every time I rewatch it, I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same when you know it's coming.
Right, for sure. I 100% agree.
There's a few movies I wish I could go back and watch for the first time.
Yeah, Endgame.
Yeah,
is one.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could just experience that theater experience again.
Oh, goated.
Anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, I agree though. I don't know. I mean, if I revisit this movie, it probably won't be this year. All right, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe when Den of Thieves 3 is coming out, is probably the next time I'll revisit it. Yeah. It's one of those ones you're like, oh, the sequel's coming out, I gotta freshen up, you know. But I agree. There's so many heist movies out there too that like there are better options too. So it's like, you know. But no, it still had its place in the heist movie genre though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like I don't even have that many mehs. I don't have anything in the bad really. There wasn't anything I like hated. There's probably a few things I guess I could nitpick on from a filmmaking standpoint, but like I enjoyed the movie, and other than the fluff we get from the personal life, I liked everything else we got.
I mean, if they just cut it to an hour and 15 minutes, I think it would be a little higher in my rating.
Yeah, for sure.
2 hours and 20 is such a long time, dude.
Yeah, it is. I hate putting these in the mad because it's like almost not their fault. Like, I mean, like the score wasn't anything special. It's your generic heist score.
But the trailer, dude, the Kendrick song they used gave me chills. Yeah. No, but yeah, like I had a good time. Oh, it is a good time.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Those are my favorite type of movies. Just a good time.
Just entertain me.
Entertain me, please.
So
Don't put me asleep.
Yeah, exactly. We'll hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with the first Den of Thieves, and what do you give it out of 10?
What I want to. I'm excited for the second one. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous how they're going to make Nick and Donnie be on the same team for this one.
Yeah.
That kind of scares me a little bit.
I kind of wish like it was, I don't know, maybe it will start in London, but I kind of want to like just piggyback off the first one, but I guess we'll see. They might, but given the name and the premise, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I am excited though. Yeah. I'm excited to see what
we're about to find out, but
a couple more days.
I'm going to give it 7.5, 8, something in that range.
Okay. For me, on a personal level, I made it a New Year's resolution of mine to stick to whole numbers this year.
Okay.
Guests obviously don't have to. Guests can do whatever they want. I can add another number to the slider. But for me, I'm just going to go 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good watch. There's not a lot I disliked about it other than, like I said, the personal life stuff. So I think it's just in that good movie range. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great or like The World on Fire. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna push the next level of cinema making. But I think if you're looking for dumb fun, 2 hours of entertainment, this is it. You got it right here.
Absolutely.
So I agree. I piggyback off you in saying I am excited for the second one. Honestly, I didn't think I would be. When you texted, hey, I like the first Den of Thieves, I'd be down to review the second one. And I was kind of making that decision on if I wanted to or not. I was like, I don't really want to watch the first one. But I'm glad I did. Like, I had a good time with it. Because me and Corey were even talking about it. He was like, I'm sorry, man. You have to watch the first one. And I was like, because I wanted to do the second movie with you. I was like, that's the only reason I'm going to watch this first one. And
Corey didn't like the first one?
No, he's never watched it. He's in the same boat. We were both like, it was just something that never interested us.
Yeah.
But after watching, I gotta eat my words. I had a good time.
Well, Corey,
so
watch it.
Corey, the ball's in your court, man. It's definitely a fun watch. But 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I agree.
So that'll do it for Den of Thieves. Drew, thank you Willy for coming on.
Of course.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, please check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Go check out Drew's channel. Will also be down below. He does some great things with sports.
Thank you, bub.
I'm excited to see what he comes up with 2025. New year. Keep pushing it. And stick around because Den of Thieves 2's a few days away. Drew will be back in that chair. We'll be talking about Den of Thieves 2. And we'd like to know what you guys think of both movies. So let us know in the comments. But we'll talk to you all soon. Peace.